Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you have been following along over on my website on the blog, you might know that I've been talking a lot about CASEL and their framework for social emotional learning. And so on the blog, each week I've been going through one of the 5 competencies that fall under that framework or on that framework. And so I thought I'd hop on here and talk about each one of those also. So if you're familiar with the CASEL framework, you know that the 5 competencies are self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision making. And so I've just been kind of breaking each of those down over on the blog and then going into some strategies that will really kind of help kids, flex those muscles or beef up those skills in each of those competencies. So I wanted to talk today about self-awareness over here. And really, what is that and what can we do to help our kids kind of build up those skills? So first of all, self-awareness is sort of exactly what it sounds like. It's recognizing and understanding our emotions, and then also being able to manage them and understand how our emotions impact the emotions of other people. So there's kind of a lot wrapped into it. And it's the first competency, and these sort of build on each other like stair steps. And so we really need kids to build up these self-awareness skills before they can kind of keep going on their social emotional learning journey, so to speak. So they have to kind of understand themselves and what's going on inside them, right, before they can really understand anything about others. And so some of the things that we can do to help kids in this competency, the first and foremost, really most important, is that we have to make feeling the feelings the norm, which the tide is kind of turning in our society, right? But for most of you who are maybe my age or older, you probably didn't grow up in a household where you talked a lot about feelings and how to manage those and regulate those emotions. And we really need to make that the norm. So we all have feelings. They're meant to be felt. That's their purpose. That's normal. It's normal to be angry sometimes and jealous sometimes and stressed out sometimes and sad sometimes. And we really need our kids to feel safe in having those feelings, because they're not going to be able to express those, understand them, know how to manage those feelings if they don't feel safe having them in the first place. So in order to kind of do that, there's also another kind of side to this coin, which is a lot of our kids don't have the vocabulary to express their emotions, and we need to give that to them. So teaching them feeling words other than just happy, sad, mad, right? Helping them by giving them these vocabulary words, we're helping them to really pinpoint what they're feeling. And so if they only have 3 words to use, then they're going to categorize all of their feelings into those 3 kind of categories or feelings. But there's so much more to it, right? So it's probably not just that they're mad. What's behind it? Is there jealousy behind that? Is there a feeling of being left out? Or missing out on something. So we really need to start beefing up their emotional vocabulary. And there are lots of lists that you can find online to kind of help you do that. We also need to help our kids celebrate the strengths that they have and recognize the strengths that they have and celebrate them. We all have things that we're good at, talents and skills and whatnot. And our kids need to understand what those are for them And some kids are really great at knowing what their strengths are. Other kids, not so much. So we need to help them kind of figure that out, and then celebrate those things. It's also really important under the self-awareness competency to help kids understand how to set goals. What is a short-term goal versus a long-term goal? How do we set a goal? How do we create an action plan for reaching that goal? And then celebrating that, right? And there are lots of different ways that we can do that. And then one last strategy is really teaching kids kind of the words to use or how to respond when people compliment them, when people give them praise, when they're given feedback or criticism. Um, how do they take that? I know my own kids, even with compliments, sometimes will just agree with the compliment rather than saying, "Oh, thank you. That's really nice of you to say that." Um, in our house, even though we talk a lot about things like this, feedback can be really hard to hear, right? So making that a normal part of a routine, and it doesn't mean that you're terrible at something or that you're a bad kid. We all have room to grow. That's part of having a growth mindset. So just a couple of quick strategies to help kids kind of build those self-awareness muscles. And then next time, we're going to move into the second competency, which is self-management. So I hope you'll join me back here next time for that. Until then, hope you have a great day.